Do you have all your Christmas shopping done yet? As I was thinking about the whole gift-giving experience these past couple weeks and wondering what I could give to the special loved ones in my life, I found myself thinking and wondering about the wise men, or the magi in the Christmas story. The wise men. We know there are at least two of them, but quite possibly more than three, since it was safer to travel in caravans back then. They were from the east, like Persia, or modern-day Iran. They were probably well aware of the prophecy found in Daniel chapter 9 about the timing of the Messiah's arrival, and then the one in Numbers chapter 24 about a star rising from Jacob. And now they were about to travel 800 to 1,000 miles to see the newborn Messiah. That's like a trip from Chicago to Boston, or even Chicago to Orlando. Some were on camels, but surely some walked the whole way. Now, some scholars say they could have made it to Jerusalem before heading the last few miles on to Bethlehem in as little as 25 days if they traveled about 40 miles a day. Others say it could have taken up to a year. Now, my purpose is not to debate or try to set the record straight about their travel details or their arrival time. What is fascinating to me is that these men were serious about seeing Jesus. They had to make some significant sacrifices, whether the journey was a month or a year, and all this for the chance of maybe finding Jesus, of maybe seeing Jesus, just hoping the prophecies about him were true. But here's what really got me to thinking at this gift-giving time of year. I kept wondering, how did they decide what gifts to bring him? I mean, we get invited to baby showers and there are registries, and if you still don't know, there's always the gift card option. But these men decided on gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And choosing these specific items, they were communicating what they believed about Jesus. You see, back then, gold was the gift for a king. They understood Jesus was a king. Frankincense was incense. When you burned it, it represented prayer. Priests used it. The wise men were acknowledging that Jesus would be a priest. And today, Jesus is our great high priest who prays for us at God the Father's right hand. Now, myrrh was a fragrant perfume used to embalm bodies, so it was prophetic about the death of the Messiah. Now, I have to wonder what Mary and Joseph thought of this gift. Here's some myrrh. This might come in handy when your son dies. Okay, but on a serious note, these wise men gave gifts to God the Son that reflected what they knew and believed about him. That reflected what they knew and believed about him. I want to be a wise woman. I want to be willing to give up anything and to travel a lifetime if necessary just to see Jesus and to spend time in his presence. I want to give him the most extravagant gifts I possibly can. Probably not gold, frankincense, and myrrh, but nevertheless gifts that he loves and that clearly communicate what I believe about him. So what about you? What if you were one of the wise men today and you had the chance to go see Jesus and to present him with gifts? What would you give him? What does the God who owns everything really want from us? The great thing is that he's told us in his word what he likes. We have a much better idea than the wise men did. I invite you, even more than I usually do, to go to my website where I have outlined a list of what his all-time favorite gifts to receive from us are. Please share this video with your friends, and together, let's lavish gifts on God this Christmas.